morning. Hello, hello. So let me tell you, I have no cardi on today. It is blimmin' hot here. It's currently 23 degrees C, which I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but I know that's pretty damn hot for literally the end of April. This feels like June weather for sure. It does not feel like April weather. It's absolutely insane. But how's everyone doing? Hello, hello. So you might have heard, but we have got a brand new challenge for you. Originally, not gonna lie, we were going to skip over the summer and we were just like, as a team, we were going to like rest, recharge, do all that good stuff. And then we were like, but you know what? So many people have that awful summer slump. And I know that you know what I'm talking about, where social media views drop, everything drop, like views drop, sales drop because everyone's outside enjoying the weather a little bit, what it's like today, right? And I've noticed like today that the views have kind of dropped, everything's dropped. So we really just decided that we thought, you know what, let's revamp the Sellathon challenge, which is always the one that you guys love the most and you get the most from, to really focus in on the summer slump, right? So that is why we have come up with, drumroll please, the Sellathon Summer Sales Sprint. There's a lot of S's in there. Summer Sales Sprint. I feel like I'm going to forget that at some point. It's a completely free challenge, guys. So if you are like, yes, this sounds good to me, I always do get very slumpy over the summer, then this is for you. Let me just grab up my calendar real quick. So this is the calendar of events, when it's going to go down, what's going to happen. It's just going to be such a good challenge. Not only am I live every single day, Monday to Friday, it's going to be something where we're all going to be going through it together. Okay, so if that sounds good, then if you click the link now, I'm on my own today, so I'm trying to like juggle a whole few things. There we go. Ria says, afternoon Steph. Hello Ria, sign up this morning. Goodbye summer slump. Love that. Yes. Yeah, you might find that you're because if you're watching on Instagram, if you comment the word sellathon, you'll get the details, but you might find that your autocorrect might do a thing. So there you go. I'll just pop the comment in there. Or if you simply go to handmadebosses.com/sellathon sprint, you will find it there, but it's completely free. We start on the 9th/the 16th of June. Obviously, as you can see, the welcome live is on the 9th. The challenge lives though officially kick off on the 16th. But that is basically what is going on with the newest challenge. So are you guys excited? Because honestly, like, I've been working on the slides, I've been working on all the good stuff. And it's going to be very like strategic, very, very like, okay, today we're doing this, tomorrow we're doing that. We listen to the feedback from you guys that sometimes the challenges can feel very overwhelming. Like, we give a lot of value, as you can imagine. And I feel like sometimes you guys are a bit like, whoa, okay, I need like a little, you know, less here, but kind of drip fed. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be very specific. It's not going to be like very wishy-washy. It's going to be real strategic advice. Is there lipstick on my teeth? No good. Okay, I always have that fear now. Hi Helen, hi, sign up, looking forward to it. It's going to be good. Laura says, I'm so excited for the Sellathon. I also signed up. That's awesome. Well done, guys. Yes, no, you should. We're getting a bunch of people actually. I had an email from Active Campaign this morning saying, you're getting a lot of views on this form. Are you sure like you're good? And I was like, yeah, we're good. We just opened up a new challenge for the Handmade bosses. We are all good. I'm really looking forward to this, having followed you silently for ages. How can you follow someone silently? I'm intrigued. Love your approach to helping businesses and listening to what we want. Oh, I love that. Awesome. Yeah, no, we always do like a little kind of feedback form afterwards, so that we know exactly what you guys want to do differently, what you guys like, what you guys don't like. So this time, as you can see, we've not got any kind of breaks in between the lives. It's just like boom, 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 boom. We did that mainly because you get some people who are like there for it. They either have the week off, or they work for themselves, or retired, or whatever you want to put in there. And they're like, okay, I want this, and this, and they want it all then and there. Whereas you get some people who are like, I just need that space. So that's why we've kind of extended the replay period a little tiny bit. So the replays come down on the 2nd of July. So you've got plenty of time to watch the replays But you can obviously imagine a bit like this, the magic does happen live, because if you do have any questions, I'm going to be doing like a little Q&A at the end. It's going to be all good. So just to reiterate, if you click on that link, if you are on watching on the Facebook group, or if you're watching on Instagram, if you comment the word sellathon at any point during this live, then I will send you the juicy details. So today, this live is going to be for you if you've ever thought, like, maybe my stuff is just too expensive. Maybe that's why people aren't buying. I know Steph talks a lot about making sure like you're charging your worth, but how does that relate to the real world where there's someone selling what I do for literally like 80% of the price of what I do? Newsflash, it's probably not handmade if they are doing that. But if you've ever thought that my stuff is too expensive, no one's buying it, they're obviously not buying it because of the price, maybe I should put my prices down, then I want you to listen up. So I've got kind of like 4 main points here. And the first one is I want to talk about perceived value versus actual price. Now, if you're in the HBSA, you're going to know what I'm going to say next. If you've read my book, you're going to know what I'm going to say next. But basically, buyers don't just look at that golden price number, okay? They don't. They look at the experience, they look at the story, they look at the feeling around that price, okay? We've just got another autocorrect seller on. We should do like an autocorrect wall of fame. We've got relation and we've got Celeron so far. That's really funny. I love that. Hi, Jenny. So people do not look at the number. They do, but it's not just the number. They're really looking about the experience, the story, the feeling about it. Okay, and I've got notes here, so if you see me looking down, that's why. People pay £50 plus for a t-shirt, a candle, whatever, any day of the week, but only when they believe it's worth it. And that's like the biggest thing here, is that you have to enable your target audience to feel like it's worth it. So no, if you haven't got a strong brand, your customers are not going to feel like it's worth it. No, if you're posting on social media sporadically at best, they're not going to feel like it's worth it. No, if you're not putting yourself out there and kind of really like putting your flag in the ground and saying, I am building a brand, not just a little Etsy shop or just a little side hustle. No, I'm building a damn business. I'm proud of it. I'm building a brand. People are not going to feel like it's worth it, because if you don't believe in yourself, why should people believe in you as well, right? I've been saying that for years, but really, you've got to make them feel like it's worth it. It's rarely about things being too expensive. It's more about flipping that on its head and people instead asking themselves, does this feel like it's worth it to me? At the end of the day, when you are selling products, right, that can be digital, it can be actual products, whatever that is, you have a value exchange, right? You have money, which for some people, is high, for other people it's low, for others it's in the middle ground there. You have money that you're exchanging for a product. And for people to buy, they have to feel like the value they're getting back is higher than the money that they are parting with. So it's not about how much money you're charging and, if it's cheap, they're going to part with their cash and whatever. It's more about that perceived value. Does that make sense? How are we feeling about that? Hi, Trisha. Conscious Mates Creations. Hi, everyone. Hello. So it's really about, and I really want you guys, don't just kind of go, oh yeah, that's nice stuff. Yeah. I really want you to think about that. Like, think about that value exchange. It might help you in your mind's eye to think of someone actually holding, like, I don't know, £30, £40, £50, £100, whatever your average transaction value is, whatever your your product is priced at. It might help you to actually think about, okay, this person is waving that money in my face. I'm taking that and I'm giving them this thing. Are they feeling like, if I'm in their shoes, am I feeling like I'm getting the better end of the deal? Because that is when people buy, when they think they're getting the better end of that deal. Okay. So now let's talk about actually what I'm going to do first. Does that make sense? Are we feeling like, okay, yeah, I get it. Jenny says yes, awesome. Lucy says yes, brilliant. Got some thumbs up, nice, love it, brilliant. Okay, so the value exchange. I want you to think about that. And if that's the only takeaway you get from this live, then that's a big thumbs up from me. So the second thing I really want to talk about is why your photos, your branding, and your messaging matter a lot more than you think. Listen, I know, like, sometimes we're trying to take photos of our products, they're not turning out the way we want them to. You just want to get that job done. So you kind of like go, yeah, all right, whatever. I'll just like edit it a bit. I'll stick it on there, whatever. It's fine. It will be a placeholder photo. 6 months later, you've still not got around to doing it. It's still there. It's still dragging down your store, dragging down your conversion rate, because we know that poor photos equal a low perceived value. I have helped so many handmade business owners, as you can imagine, thousands over the years. And let me tell you, like, I promise you, brownie promise, whatever, whatever hand movement, I promise you that it's not that your product is not an incredible, amazing product. It's not that at all. It's simply how you are presenting it. And a lot of the time, it's your photos that let that whole thing down, okay? Now, not just your photos, but also a weak or inconsistent brand confuses buyers and it slashes that trust. That's why in our previous challenge, which we ran during March, which was the Brandathon, we talked a lot about branding. And a lot of you got a lot from that challenge. I'm saying a lot here, but I know a lot of you did get a great deal from that challenge because we started to dig into this. Let me tell you that a DIY brand must be done by someone who knows what they're doing, because a brand is that trust. You see the brand, you know the brand, you recognize the brand, you trust them, right? Now let's talk about messaging here, okay? Messaging that is wishy-washy, that doesn't speak to a specific need, a specific pain point, even something relating back to your target audience in some way, shape, or form, equals lost sales. Because if you're trying to sell something and you're showing up on social media and you're putting a post up and the copy, the sales copy, the messaging is extremely meh, then people are just going to scroll on past because it's not going to grab their attention enough. And then this is why we talk about hooks, hooks with like your social media. That hook's got to be very, very strong. It's not going to speak to them enough for them to stop and actually consume it, right? So you have to make sure that your photos are great, not just great. They are at least an 8 out of 10. If they're not, redo them. Like, just pick 3 products this week, redo them, okay? Inconsistent branding confuses buyers. And when I say inconsistent, it's when people are like looking at your products, looking at your brand and being like, huh? There's a bit of a disconnect here. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I'm not feeling the connection here, right? And also messaging that doesn't speak to something specific as to who's consuming it, your target audience, right? So does that make sense, guys? Are we like, boop? Ria says that sentence, if I don't believe in myself, my customers won't believe in me, really hits home. Yes, it's something that I think, like, even for me, like, I struggle with this right up, like, from when I first started, over 10 years ago now. From now, sometimes it's still like, when it comes to this thing, I don't believe in myself. Like, I don't believe in myself that I could, I don't know, put on a pair of ice skates and go skating. So therefore, the people in the ice rink around me are going to be like, stay away from that chick. She's unsteady on her feet. Like, she obviously is not really feeling herself on the ice. So therefore, why would I go near that mess that is Steph with ice skates, And I know, like, it's a really simple comparison there, but it is really, really important. Brandathon was a game changer for me. Oh, that's awesome. I got a little perfect symbol, perfecto. Yes, for sure. So if I don't believe in myself, my customers won't believe in me. I love that. Lucy, it's so hard to believe in yourself early on. I'm very early on in the journey and constantly doubting myself. I think so. Yes, you are right. Right in the beginning of your journey, you are going to feel like, oh, am I good enough? Am I going to, And I think the thing that will always trump here, and I don't mean to use that word, I know for a lot of people, it's like, oh, don't say that. But I feel like what will trump all here is that time will tell. Time will tell. So as time goes on, you're going to get people who comment on your stuff. You're going to get people who buy your stuff. You're going to get people who leave reviews on your stuff. And there's no replacement really for just sticking with it, even on those days where you're like, oh, I feel like I'm not very good at this. Because time will trump all. Time will tell, and time will give you the evidence that you need. And really, there's no replacement for just having that unshakable belief, even when you're doubting in yourself. I think there's a difference between believing in yourself and actually having the evidence for you to easily believe in yourself. I think it's that unshakable doubt where you're like, unshakable belief rather, where you're like, okay, I might not believe in that social media post that I just put out that's really wonky and really weird. I might not believe in that product that I just made. I didn't feel like it was my best. I might not believe in my website that I've just made that feels a little bit naff, but I believe in my ability to fix it at some point. I believe in my ability to learn. I believe in me being driven enough to continue on down that path. Does that make sense? So maybe try like belief in your own drive before you're believing in the products that you're putting out there, the social posts, whatever. Does that make sense? Because it's not going to be something where straight off the bat you're going to go, I am great at this. Yes, because you're not. Like your first 10 social media posts are going to be rubbish. Your first 10 products are going to be rubbish. Your first 10 product photos are going to be rubbish. But the sooner you get those first 10 done and out the way, the sooner you're going to get to the good stuff where you actually start to go, yeah, I'm feeling myself with this now, you know? Okay, so now let's talk about the dangers of lowering your prices, because I do get a lot of people that, you know, they'll say, well, Steph told me to raise my prices because I wasn't making a profit and I was making a loss, but now I've raised my prices. Now I'm feeling a bit scared about it. Now I'm feeling like I need to put my prices back down again. Let's talk about that. So slashing prices, as we've already talked about, it does not make people think, oh, what a great deal. It doesn't. It instead makes people question the quality. Okay. Discounting too much can do one of three things. It can attract bargain hunters instead of those loyal, true customers that you will want. It can damage your brand's perceived worth. And that is something that I do get a lot, right? And I get a lot of people saying, well, you know what? I need to make some money. So if I just do like a half price sale off of everything all at once, then that'll be that. And then I can just go back to normal. The problem with that is it's the going back to normal part, right? It's fine to do like a 2-day, 3-day bonanza, like on Black Friday or something like that, where you know there's a holiday around it. People are almost expecting you to do some kind of discount, right? But it's going back to full price and normality that is the problem here. Sales are fine. It's when you're constantly going up and down and up and down and up and down. People then start to go, okay, well, if she doesn't believe in her prices, why should I buy from her and put my trust in that person? You know. So discounting can definitely damage your brand's worth. The third thing is it makes it really hard to raise your prices later on down the line, especially if you're up and down and up and down. Definitely, thank you, says Lucy. I was close to lowering mine. So glad I've joined today. Yeah, it's so easy to just say I'm just gonna put my prices down. That's it. But the problem is that you've really got to make sure that it's part of like a larger strategy around your brand. And if you're someone who's like, you know what, like if there's a little bug in my face, it keeps like buzzing around my eyeballs. If you're saying to me, you know what, Steph, like I am never going to want to do sales, I'm never going to want to do that. Why would you start off doing that, right? Ice skates, love it. So useful for someone just to tell it how it is, not sugarcoating, believe in yourself and it will magically happen. Well, I think that, you know what, it's not going to magically happen. you are going to be rubbish for the first like 10 whatever, the first 10 lives like this that I did way back in 2020, they were rubbish, they were awful. My first 10 videos were terrible, but the sooner I got those out the way, the sooner I could get down to like the good stuff. So I think like a really good rule of thumb is to actually say, you know what, like if I just quickly get those first 10, whatever it is, social posts, products, whatever it is, if I just quickly get those first 10 done, then I can move on to like the good stuff. Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk about how to create desire for your products without dropping your prices. Because I know that's probably the question on a lot of you guys' lips. I don't know how to say that, but you know what I mean. That you're like, yes, but how do I create that buzz when people aren't buying? The temptation is there to lower the prices, but if I can't do that, if I don't want to do that, what do I do instead? Okay. So the first thing is to focus on how you're selling your products, how you're presenting. We've talked a lot about messaging. We've talked a lot about storytelling. And that is actually, the latter is actually what I want you to focus on. And that is focus on your storytelling, what actually makes your product special. Listen, I never sugarcoat it, as you guys know, but I do see a lot of business owners that from the surface, when I very first see their businesses, their shops, their website for the very first time, my initial question is, that's great, but what makes you different from this, and this? And when I speak to them one-on-one, they actually tell me face to face, it's this, it's made from this, it's made from that. And I'm like, fantastic. That is not coming across online for you at all. Because when I first saw your shop, I was like, yeah, nice, but what makes that water bottle different from this one? What makes your lip balm more special than this one here? What makes your grabbing things from my desk? What makes your hand cream better than this one, right? And it's not until I actually speak to people one-on-one, or through like the HBSO, or I get to know them, that I'm like, yeah, but that's not coming across for you. So focus on your storytelling. I want you to look at your last 6 posts on social media, email, however you market your products. Look at your last 6 posts and ask yourself, is my USP, is what makes me unique, standing out in any of these? And if the answer is no, get on it, do it. Do 2 posts this week just talking about what makes you special, what makes your product unique, what gives them that unique flair, that oomph, that zhazha, that whatever, the sparkle, the glitter that you're putting on top. What is that thing? Okay. The next thing is I want you to show it in real life, like actually show your product off in real life. I really like a good flat lay, and I really do love a good white background shot. They're good, they have their place. When it comes to selling your product, you actually need more lifestyle imagery rather than your static product shots. Okay. So I want to have pictures, videos, short form content, whatever that means for you, showing your product being used. So if it's a candle, show you lighting it. If it's a necklace, show you wearing it. Not necessarily you, but someone, a human being. If it is a scarf, show 6 different ways of putting it on. To sell a product, what I like to do, and there's this movie, and I'm trying to rack my brain as to what the movie was, and you guys might be able to help me. It was all about QVC and like the shopping channels and how they very first started out in like 1970s, 1980s. I can't remember the name of the movie. It's someone in the comments is gonna have to tell me, because it's driving me insane. But it was basically this like movie, and it spoke about how people would be taught how to sell on these live TV shopping channels. I distinctly remember they had this whopping great turntable, and as it turned, you could see like it would change the person and like the product, and I can't remember. It's literally on the tip of my tongue. Maybe someone has got it in. No one's told me yet, but no, it's a film, and it's really bugging me. It's bugging me. So if someone can tell me, that'd be great. I will Google it later and I'll find it and I'll be like, it was that movie. But basically, think about how, if you were doing a live demonstration, what would you do with your product? Like, how would you present it? How would you hold it? How would you show it? And then all I want you to do is to grab your phone, document it, pictures, videos, just simply do that. And honestly, just by doing that, you're instantly showing your product off in the way that you would want to use it in real life. Okay. Right, let me check the comments quick. I have put mine up. Thumbs up to you, Christy. That's what I want to know. I've only had 3 sales since August last year. Yeah, so it's really, Jenny, for you, I would say, depending on what you sell, try out these things. I've got a couple more points that might be helpful, actually. I'm still in my first 10 posts. Does that mean that they're rubbish? Well, you know what? Being completely honest with you, in a year's time, you're probably going to be able to look back and go, you know what? I wasn't really feeling it back then. Like, I didn't like this font. I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like that. But right now, they might feel like they are great. They might feel like they are good, and they are good for the state of your journey that you are in now. Like, if you go back to my first 10 posts, back then I was like, they're brilliant. Yeah, I'm feeling myself. Check me out. But now I go back, I'm like, oh no. Yeah, so it's not that I'm saying your posts are rubbish, but when you get to that point in your journey, in 6 months, in a year, in 2 years, you might be looking back and going, you know what? I thought they were good. Maybe they're not so good. It's a bit like that thing, isn't it? That saying where when, like, if you took a picture when you're like, I don't know, 19, 25, whatever, and you remember thinking back then, oh, I feel awful. I feel so bloated today. I don't feel like my eyeliner didn't go right. My hair wasn't doing its thing. But then you look back on it when you're like 80, 90, 100 years old, and you're like, I look damn good. Like, I look absolutely amazing there. But in the moment, you were like, oh, I'm not really sure. It's kind of like the same thing, but the other way around. It's sort of along those lines. Okie dokie. Right. So I have a couple more points. So highlight customer wins, testimonials, or behind the scenes. I know a lot of people who, I say this quite a lot. I always say, you know, on your socials, wins, testimonials, behind the scenes, wins, testimonials, behind the scenes. But the amount of people I actually see doing it are few and far, right? So a win can simply be you saying, you know what, I actually got this product finished. It's been sat on my bench for like 10 years. I don't know, 10 months, whatever. And I've finally done it. Or I've been wanting to release this very specific collection for so long. I don't think I had the oomph or the drive to actually do it. And now I have. Testimonials, obviously, is, you know, when your customers have bought your products, they've left a review for you, screenshot that, share it, tell people, hey, look, other people like my stuff too. I think you will. Behind the scenes, listen, behind the scenes, they always do really, really well. I think it really goes into that whole thing of building that know, like, and trust, right? Building that know, like, and trust behind you. And something that I don't see enough of is actually people saying, look, this is me, this is my workspace right now, this is what I'm doing right now. I know it seems unnatural, I guess, to those who it's not in their nature, and it feels really like, oh, I'm not really sure. But actually, when you start doing it, again, your first 10 are going to be rubbish. Like, the first 10 selfies that I took were awful. The first 10 reels that I did, terrible. And if you want evidence of this, like, actually, if you can be bothered, scroll back on my Instagram profile and you'll see the first 10 things I did were absolutely rubbish. They were terrible. And at the time, they felt amazing. Now, not so much, because I've changed. I've done a pivot. I know more about what I want to talk about. I know my messaging. I know my know, like, and trust. Like, I know all these things a lot more than I did back then when I was posting those things, right? But do behind the scenes stuff. Honestly, document your journey at the very least. Like, I know it sounds really like, oh, I'm not really sure I want to do that. But honestly, just try it for 2 weeks. Just try it and just see. If it all goes to rubbish and you're like, all right, fine, you can always just delete them and just move on with your life, but you won't know until you try it, right? The last thing that I do not see enough people doing is talking about the transformation that their product is going to give them. I know it's a simple thing, and I know I've talked about this a lot, or I have done recently, but please talk about your transformation, which is your A to Z. So if you hear me say, what's your A to Z? That is what your customer is feeling, thinking, being before your product, A, versus afterwards, Z. What is your A to Z? Because they don't just get a water bottle. I need some new props, don't I? Because I feel like I've always got my phone, my hand cream, my lip balm, and my water bottle, but it serves its purpose. So it's like, okay, it's not just a water bottle. It is a way to make sure you get rid of those dehydration headaches for good. You are, everything with your bowel movements is all looking spick and span. Because let me tell you, that was the biggest thing that I was like, I'm dehydrated and I know it, if you know what I mean. So it's like, you know what, that's going to be taken care of. You know that you never have to buy an over expensive bottle of water again. That's the A to Z. It's not just, hey, here's a water bottle, it's pink, it's ombre, it's cute, it's got little markers on it, go buy it. You know what I mean? They're two very different things. So, for example, if you do home decor, you could say from cluttered to calm, right? If you do fashion, you could go from basic to bold. If you do self-care products, you could say from stress to serenity to calmness. Does that make sense? Let me just check on the comments real quick. I love doing that. I did it in photos for my degree. Yes, for sure. Yes, it's about perception for sure. Yeah. And that's it. It's all about perception. The price is right. No, I don't know what it was. It's really going to bug me. I'm going to have to Google it while you guys are leaving me comments. Movie about QVC. Joy. Was it? I don't think it was Joy. It might have been Joy. Joy is a really good film, though. Entrepreneurship, like Joy, is such a good film. That's the only thing that's coming up. It might have been Joy. I thought it might have been, but then I was thinking I haven't watched that in a little while. But no, Joy is a really good movie to watch, and I would always say for every entrepreneur to watch it, because it's I anyway think it's a really good film with a lot of like lessons, a lot of hard lessons, and you see like the reality of being an entrepreneur. Not only that, but being an entrepreneur as a woman back when she invented the Wonder Mop, which has had its own challenges in and of itself. But I don't know if that was the movie. It might not have been. It might have been. Maybe it was The Founder. Because I watched that recently. I don't know. I'll find it. I shall figure it out. Lovejoy doesn't sound like Joy. No, I don't think it. I know there was QVC in there, but I don't think it was that. I'm gonna have to find it. Great ideas. Thank you. You are welcome. All I could find was Joy. Yeah, me too. I'm gonna have to find it. Okay, so I'm gonna open it up for. Let's do 4 questions. Because God knows I need to eat. So give me 4 questions. Any questions that you guys have, let me know. I like to kind of like open it up for questions in case you guys have been sitting on a little something that you're like, yeah, I could do with that. I know we have one. Have a question. Should I streamline my product range? And if so how should I decide which to go with? I make handmade ceramics. To be honest, it really depends on what you mean by streamline. Streamline can mean a lot of different things. It can mean getting rid of the old stuff. It can mean getting rid of stuff that doesn't fit in with your brand anymore. Like when you say streamline, what do you exactly mean? Like what are you actually thinking about doing? The founder was about McDonald's. Yeah, I thought he did do a little something. I've just got a load of like really film about shopping channels. No. Was it Buy Now the Shopping Conspiracy? Might have been that, the Netflix documentary. It might have been that. Now I'm seeing it, it's ringing a few more bells. But I thought it was a film. I thought it was like a movie, because she was selling something and she could see the numbers going up and up and up. I know it was like in the 70s, the 80s. Oh, anyway, any quick tips for growing audience? I know it's a massive question. So it depends. If you want to grow it fast, you have to post a lot. And that's just the bottom line. If you want to grow fast, you have to do probably 5 to 7 reels a week, and I would do 3 to 4 carousels a week too, and do stories every day. That would be my honest answer if you were saying, right, I want to grow really, really quickly. If you want to grow, if you're not about that and you're like, yeah, okay, all right, let's bring it back a bit, then I would say 2 to 3 reels a week minimum. And I would also say do 2 carousels a week and do stories every day. I know it's a lot. I know. But that's if you want to grow exponentially. Obviously you can boost posts, you can do ads, you can put money behind it, but that would be what I would say would be if someone was to say to me, right, Steph, I want to grow quickly, then that's what I would say to do. Shortly I'm going to be creating, because if you guys didn't know, we have the SMS as well. I don't know if you guys, the social media sidekick, let me find it for you. And that is our social media membership, and it's handmadebosses.com/SMS. It's basically every single month we give you all the socials that you need. We give you the templates, we give you the strategy, everything is given to you. All you have to do is change a few tweaks, things here and there, with the free version of Canva, which we teach you how to do it. It's like a complete social media donezo. The SMS is not in the HBSA. No, it's like a separate thing if you want to add that on. It's $34.99 a month, which is roughly around £1.17 a day, but you get everything you need. Shortly in there, I'm going to be creating a 30-day sprint, where the goal is for you to increase your followers by 250 in those 30 days. It's going to be hard work. There's going to be a lot of posting, but we're going to be giving you everything that you need in order to do that. It's not in there yet, but it is something that I am working on, because I do feel like I'm finally beginning to crack it in terms of, okay, this is what you have to do to make sure that you're getting that. So yeah, in terms of growing your audience, it's consistency and pretty much everything I've spoken about your messaging, your branding, and making sure that you are presenting your products in the correct way. Righty Roo, next question. I believe my products, I just don't think I'm reaching anyone. So if you're not reaching anyone, normally that says, I mean, how, realistically, being completely honest, how often are you posting on a good week? How often are you posting? Right, let's go to Instagram, grab some questions. I feel like my product description needs help. Do you have any tips for writing a catchy product description? I think you've always got to start off with a really good hook. You've then got to go into presenting the features and benefits, not only in a bullet pointed format, but also in a paragraph that is selling the product. Because bullet points are great and you need those for skimmers, but you also need to sell the product in a way, paint the picture. And for that, I like to almost take myself back to secondary school, where I was told to write a creative story. It's almost like that. You're not making stuff up, but you're kind of using adjectives. You're being descriptive as to how this product would work for them. Yeah. I always struggle with what transformation my products provide. I make Belgian chocolate goodies, and in my head they are just chocolate bars. No, they are not just chocolate bars. They are not just chocolate bars. They are the signal that person has done a good job. It's their treat. It's their sit down moment. It is their little bit of exquisiteness that they have every day. It's their little luxury they have, maybe not every day, but it's, some people, they go out and buy beer. Some people, they go and get themselves a nice bottle of wine. Listen, we all need those vices. Each and every one of us has a vice. For me, it's chocolate, it's food, it's buying little artist bears that I see. I do have quite a good collection of bears. Maybe I'll show that in an Instagram story, my little bear shelf. But for me, those are my vices. I don't buy a lot of clothes. I mean, you guys see me, I wear like the same things over and over again. Clothing, fashion is not my vice. Earrings are, clothing is not. I love myself a good pair of fluffy socks. But for me, chocolate is my vice. So I'm just like, that is little bits of joy. Because I know that if I'm feeling down, rubbish, whatever, I'm going to plop that in my mouth. It's going to be like, yep, that's it. We're all good now. And I think if you are struggling with that, if you are struggling with, okay, I don't know the transformation that my product gives, actually speak, hop on video calls, phone them, just talk to your target audience in some way, shape, or form, because they will tell you. Great. Now I want chocolate. If you guys are in the HBSA and you do have questions, if you pop it in the group, then we can come and answer that for you. So if you do get stuck, let us know. I'm struggling with my why, so I'm battling to get the storytelling done, also becoming a stumbling block to progress. Laura, I would say post that in the group, like what we love, like the kind of posts that we love in the HBSA group is the long posts where at the end, inevitably everyone always goes, oh, sorry for like rambling. And we're like, no, we love that. We love getting as much detail as we can, because the more detail you give us, short posts are great, but the more detail you give us about how you're feeling, what you're thinking, the better we can help you. So Laura, for you, get your rambles out. That's literally what it's there for. And especially with your why as well, that requires a little bit of back and forth, I feel like. Okay, I'm going to do one more question. Right, I'm going to do one more because I do need to pee now as well. The situation's getting dire. I've had 3 abandoned baskets on Etsy in the last month and no sales. What should I be looking at to see if something is deterring people? So for that, I think there is a couple of things that you can do. Are you in the HBSA, Helen? I'm sure you are, but let me know if you are. Because if you are, post the listing in the group and saying, right, guys, what would turn you off? Because the hive mind in there is fantastic at getting on it quickly, commenting, saying, right, this would turn me off, this would turn me off. So that would actually be like the quickest and easiest way to do it, is actually just put it in there with 600 plus members who are already in there and actually like doing the thing. And that would be the quickest way. If you're not, you are, okay, great. So then that is where I would say, yeah, put that listing in there, because there is something turning people off. The other side of the coin is that some people will just add it to their basket as a form of like wish list. So you can do the coupon thing. You can send a coupon to abandoned carts. That often works really, really well. The only downside is that if people haven't ticked yes to be notified by Etsy, that then they won't get it. So some people will put it on, know they'll get abandoned baskets, but it says that it hasn't been sent, and that's when people get a bit confused, because they're like, what is this about? Someone said, what is the HBSA? So the HBSA is, I'll pop a link in for you that explains all about it. It's basically my signature course. It's the only kind of course that I do. And it's basically designed, it's massive. It's a massive course. It's basically, its whole promise is to meet you wherever you are now, whether you're starting from zero, you don't even have a shop or a product yet, all the way to consistent 5-figure months on Etsy, on your own website, and with in-person events as well. So it's basically a complete handmade business course, and that is the HBSA. So I've put a little thing there. You can join the waitlist on that page as well. You don't have to. It's just all the information is on there as well, what it includes, what it's all about, people's stories, etc. It's just like a nice page just to have, just to say when people say, what's that? I say, go here, you can see it. Awesome. Fan Dabby Dozy. Right then, my love. So have each and every one of you joined the Sellathon challenge? That's going to be my first question. If you are watching on Instagram, if you comment the word Sellathon, if you like this, the Sellathon is like a 5-day extended mix of this. Well, I'd probably say a bit more in depth actually, rather than me just speaking, but it's like a 5-day like dance club remix version of this. Okay, so join the Selllathon challenge. Make sure you spell it right because it won't trigger. Arthur's Craft Corner Sellathon. That's another one. I love the autocorrects are great. I love it. It makes I chuckle. So yes, have you joined the challenge? When's the next one? If you go to that page, Lucy, that HBSA waitlist has actually got like a countdown timer as to when it opens again. So it will open halfway through the Selllathon challenge. So in June is the next time it's going to open. But I've put a nice little countdown right at the top for you so that you've got a nice little thing to count down to. So make sure that you guys join that challenge. If you comment the word Selllathon, then I will send you all the juicy deets. But if you are watching on Facebook, let me grab the link for you. You simply have to go to handmadebosses.com/Selllathon sprint. Christy, you're not watching on Instagram, my lovely. So if you click on that link instead, because it only triggers the thing if you're watching on Instagram. But if you go to the link that I've just popped in the comments, you will find it there. But guys, I really hope that this has been helpful. If you do want to join the challenge, it will also be in my link in bio as well. So if you want to join after the fact and you're still like, oh, well, I want to join, it will still work. But if you want like the quick way, if you go to my link in bio, you will find it there. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I need to go eat. I need to go pee, and I'm going to go and get a grocery shop. Yay for me. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I hope you found it helpful, and I will catch you all same time next week for another one of these. Bye, everyone.